Here's Nice. As in the bottom left, it is Serral. I was just laughing at Nice's little plushie that had an AFK face, like eye mask on it. Alright. Game number 1 of the best of 1. That is the ace match between the Starlight Twinkle and Basilisk. Starlight won an ace match last week against Mystery Gaming. That was a shocker. Can Nice pull off a best of 1 win against Serral? Seems unlikely, but let's see what the hell happens. Thank you so much. We just got a donation as well, I believe. Let me try and just get my stream elements open to read this up as we go through some early stages here. And while we get set up in general. And Dave Tester, thank you so much for the 14-month resub as well, mate. Appreciate it. Wait, does that say £1,000? Wait, am I crazy? Oh, did I just completely misread this? That says a... You guys don't see this because I have the thing set up weirdly today, but hang on. Sorry, guys. Am I actually crazy? I just need a... Just to show you guys this. Is this showing up everywhere else as well? Holy shit! That's like legit. Schmirkfett with the £1,000 donation. I'm so sorry I missed it. I'm sitting here waiting for the ace match to start and stuff, and I just didn't have my my donation sounds on, so I completely missed it. I genuinely had to go and double check, like a triple check. You know what? It came up on my phone and it said like £10. I was like, I thought it said £10, but it said 1,000. Holy crap! Am I crazy? Am I wild? That's what it says. That is a little bit bonkers. We also had a £10 donation from Captain Mattian. Okay, I see. So I'm not crazy. I did read £10. That was from Captain Mattian. Said this money is specifically for pizza. Thank you so much for the £10, Captain Mattian. And thank you so much, Schmirkfed, for the £1,000. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry I completely missed it. I apologize. We will go into this more deeply when we wrap up this game of StarCraft. It's a little bit dicey on the 5 character subs of Jimmy Jamjaws, Dexter Gexter, Dynamic 905, Gig TV, to Zodzic 1985. Holy crap. Well, that's a streamer fail if I've ever seen one. Holy crap, that's wild. I'm so sorry. Like I said, I just didn't have my usual things open because we're using WTL caster. That is actually crazy. Thank you so much. You're ridiculous. Thank you. Come in and ask how to support the tournaments. Well, yeah, that is the definition of going above and beyond. Thank you so much. And as we get set up here on Radu said, there was a void ray out to deny some overlord. Serral has overlord speed. I think he just wants to not be caught off guard by anything weird early on. And there's a fleet beacon going down from Nice, who maybe just wants to go directly into some kind of later game Stargate play here. So Nice is going to try and set us into latest game Stargate. Fleet beacon coming up. What on earth is Nice doing? Does he get that up and running? Is that a record donation? I think it's the ties the record in record for a single donation. Yes. We had one crazy man donate £1,000 3 times in one stream before, but that was really crazy. Schmeck that. Thank you so much. Like I said, let's do this game justice, guys. It is the ace match. It is important as we get up and rolling here. Stargate, Fleet Beacon coming through. Cybercore is getting set as we get ready to rumble and get everything going in the first few moments. Tempest coming out of that Stargate as well, so bringing this through, getting that going. Just having ourselves a couple moments of, again, building up here and getting everything going as the Void Ray is going to grab an Overlord for a couple of moments. So some damage being dealt. The Overlord goes down. Tempest still coming through as well. As we have a few moments of what's coming up next. So Tempest into Mothership. Is the new Mothership this good, guys? We're about to find out live in the Ace match here. As we get on the go. Let's see our Blink coming up, 1-1 upgrades coming through. The Mothership is on the way in as well, so all of this getting settled down for the moment. Like I say, Spire on the way from Serral, so he knows roughly what's going on. He realizes he's going to need Corruptors here to help himself out. Meanwhile, as we get to the Mothership, we're also going to have +1 and Blink. Nice just trying to harass with the Tempest. What if he forces an overreaction of Corruptors? Then he's actually going to play +1 and Blink, and Serral doesn't really have a lot on the ground behind it. That could actually be a really cool combination of things that could come out of this right now. So that could get very interesting. Maybe something to come from that. Feelings continuing across the map as we get a move on here. Just going to have ourselves the Spire still coming up. So continuing to bring this through. The Tempest is just about surviving. I mean, it's just, like I say, a distraction. 3 Corruptors, 4 Corruptors, 7 Corruptors. It's overkill, man. For someone that's building Storm and +1 and Blink, Nice is playing the mind games on Serral. He's pulling them and he's getting them so far. This is getting a little bit redonkulous right now as we have ourselves the Mothership coming in. We have the Queen's going to fight. The Tempest will take quite a bit of damage. The Mothership will take quite a bit of damage. It's just going to recall home. Like I said, Corruptors are starting to spawn here from Serral. And Nice is going into, like I say, full-on Blink Stalkers against currently 11 Roaches on the map. So, again, we'll keep an eye on those Roach numbers. Roach speed and +1 coming up, but there's a world where we can actually start fighting with Stalkers against basically no upgrades on the Roaches, which would be kind of amazing. Oracle coming around, seeing this 4th. I mean, we also just take a 4th base right now, though, as Nice. So he also gets his own 4th started up here as well. Oh, yeah, madness. The Storm is about to finish, so Nice is basically guaranteed his way into, like, a later stage of this game without too many issues, so, like I say, I feel like that's a pretty wonderful way to play things. So let's see, the Corruptors trying to make a bit of something happen. Obviously, they can at least try and caustic spray a little. Serral on his way to an Infestation Pit as well, starting to realize he doesn't need any more Corruptors. He definitely has figured that part out at this point, it seems, so... That part seems to have been, like I say, figured out, being dealt with. Do have the Infestation Pit then as the next step. Well, he actually does. He starts 2 more Corruptors. Oh, what are we building more Corruptors for? Just to shoot down the Mothership at this point is basically the only thing they can do. 4th base gets jumped on here. Storm is ready. Do the High Templar have enough energy? This base will go down. Not even a cancel, I believe, just a kill. High Templars do now have Storm. The Roach Ravager eats pretty heavily the Storm. We pop the cloaking. The Overseer is there. Would have been able to provide detection. But maybe if it was, could have been targeted down, then that would have been an issue. That's Nice. Just needs to keep on building units at this point. It feels like he's got a good amount. Well, his economy is great. His 4th base has to rebuild, so that's a little bit of a shame, but far from the end of the world. The Corruptors are going to try and go in towards the back base here, but a few Stalkers warp in. Nice prepares adequately to make sure that they will not get too much done, so no problem on that one either. And those few Corruptors still just chilling out in the middle of the map, waiting to see what their next opportunity, what their next opening is going to turn into, as they just chill for the moment. More Lings coming out, the Hive on the way, Baneling Nest coming through, melee upgrades, +2 missiles. Serral starting to get into a little bit of everything here, while also just building into a lot of bases, and that is a concern, right, where... now Serral's going to have all the bases in the world. Can you really deal with this? He's going to try and cancel the 4th again. You've got to be able to stop this. I feel as Nice, you've got to be able to take an aggressive step forward and say, no, you can't just deny my 4th base every time. I mean, army is good. Your army's kind of crap. You've got to be able to push this back, and that's exactly what he steps forward and does. He pushes Serral away. He is able to force him away there. That is such a big deal. Absolutely love to see that. So that is a very good news. So Nice doing the right things, and obviously I might sound a little bit Nice biased here, guys, but it's just fun to see the underdog doing something different, weird, and putting himself in a position where so far he might be able to, still sneakily take something of a win. Serral's going to set up the Dropper Lords. He's going to try and get those going over towards the bases, so he is going to try and find more aggression, more damage done. And Corruptor's still coming around. The Stalker's going to come through, drop the Changeling down, and then jump onto those Corruptors, start to clean those out. So that's going to be his plan here for a couple of moments. Let's just have ourselves the couple of carriers now building from Nice, so he's really starting to move in toward the late game. But again, late game, PvZ against Serral is not usually very fun. Serral is just very good in that later stage of the game, and we all very much so know that. So let's see what happens. A couple of Zealots are going to come through the center. Just having our Ling Roach Ravager Corruptor coming back through. A couple of Infestors down on the ground as well. Neural Parasite is starting up also. Robo Facility on the way in. The carriers producing here from Nice as our Lings will find themselves a Zealot over on this Watchtower. Going to knock that down nice and quickly. The Lings jumping into those Dropper Lords. They're going to do some dropping into this mineral line here as they aim for that base. But there's units here, so you got to be careful. Stalkers and High Templar. Batteries, cannons, he knows what Serral might try and do. Oh, he's going to go for the natural instead. Well, the Stalkers are, able to move. They're not just immobilized. They can go wherever they may need to, so they will begin to do that just like that as Lings will begin to unload here. So actually, we do get far enough in. First Storm's coming down. The first Lings obviously take a lot of damage. Morph and Archon, and I'm not really convinced that these Lings are going to do much, but we're fighting at the same time at the front. The High Templar just took a bunch of damage, a lot of them going down. Serral's supply plummets, though. He's down to 150 supply, and Serral is actually trailing a little bit. Now, he has a lot of money. He builds 8 Ultras. The preparation against Ultras is kind of non-existent right now. So that is Serral's rebuild, but he uses up pretty much all of the gas that he'd mined up until this point. That's just a lot of Lings in those drop lords that did not really achieve that much. I think that was the big thing there. The thing that really made a bit of a difference is 9 Ultras on the way. Great Aspire 2, nice. Holding his now 5 bases as he expands downwards towards base number 5 as well, so gets that up and running too. Gets that ready to rumble. We need something against these Ultras, like I say. I mean, carriers can kill Ultras, they're just kind of slow at it. I'd love to see a couple of Immortals. I just wonder if 9 Ultras are a little bit too scary. Like, I know you guys like to meme about Ultras, they're not that good, but there are scenarios, and see, there's a reason you build them right now as Serral. What I actually wonder about is, did we not build enough Corruptors? Because 9 Corruptors against 7 carriers maybe doesn't feel like a lot. Has Serral not respected the amount of air units that Nice has slowly made his way to here? Super Battery pops, Time Warp goes down, Storms will come in, actually landing on where the Corruptors move. The Storms are great so far. We have a single Neural Parasite. Mothership, well, I think a carrier got Corrosive Bile down. That one carrier that's caught in the Neural Parasite is still caught, but every Corruptor will go down. It really is, at the end of the day, the Ultras are going to be the issue. Now our carriers turn onto those Ultras. Oh, the Mothership activates Cloaking to save the base. Base will survive until maybe those Lings pop back up. The Ultras can run away. Nice begins his rebuild, and he might, Void Rays and an Immortal. He realizes he needs something here to really deal with those Ultras in the future, and that's going to do it. 19 new Corruptors as Serral reestablishes his army composition into something just a little bit different from what we saw before. Serral getting remaxed. Nice on his way. Another warping 2 of units, and he should be back to remaxed as well. This game staying competitive and back and forth here so far. 15 minutes through on Raduset Station. A couple of Lings trying to come back in, but nope. Nice deals with those as well, so this base will still be protected. Great use of that Mothership as well, utilizing the Cloaking there. That was a great little something. Just going to be seeing another fight breaking out. These Ultras not having a good time. I mean, they clean up what's on the ground, but they take a lot of losses after. The Interceptor's chasing. We just run out of range. The Ultra's getting out of there. That was lost a little bit more. Killed by Nice than was killed by Serral. Serral's gas staying low, but remember, Serral pretty much has the entire map. There's been no move from Nice so far to actually move out onto the map and to do anything about any of Serral's bases. So that is a consistent issue if you don't do anything about it at any point. Yes, you're going to have some issues there. So keep an eye on that. As we do have ourselves the carriers joining up together. Just going to be seeing this gold base active from Serral. Another place where he's going to have a lot of money coming in from. But he is really spending all this money as well. So If Nice keeps on surviving and Serral eventually can't deny Nice from keeping on taking bases, Serral will run into trouble because he is mining a lot now, but those bases will not last forever. And yeah, they will last a long time. We're talking, 10 minutes in the future at least here. As the Vipers looking for something, we're going to go yoinking the mothership. Oh, goes down immediately. Time Warp comes up. Can we capitalize? Not really. That was a good little bit of value gain from Serral. This is where Nice needs to have a couple High Templars feedbacking, or at least storming those Corruptors. And if you get a Time Warp down, then a storm, and it's slow for those Corruptors to move out, that would be amazing as well, right? Because anything where you can kind of stack up that damage and make Serral pay a little bit while he tries to find efficiency out of some of these units. Gonna relocate down the right side. The Corruptors here gonna find a shot on a Void Ray, so one Void goes down almost immediately. Now we're gonna drop a couple Storms to ward off. The Ultra's on the ground, not gonna last long against those Immortals. I think at this point Serral is okay to say, okay, so see you later, Ultras. You kind of played your role. You've done your job already. Let's trade these guys out and rebuild into more Corruptors. Well, against more Corruptors, what you need is more Archons, more Storms, arguably more Void Rays to some extent as well, right? I mean, depends exactly how the fights start to turn. All of those are fairly viable options, though. Ultras in the corner. Just going to go down. We have detection here, so the burrow doesn't save them. Nice try, though, from Serral, doing everything he can to save those units. Supply favoring Nice at the moment. Serral's going to build a bunch of broods. This is where we're really going to see again, the composition's good enough right now from Nice. Is this composition genuinely capable of taking on that composition as Serral? He's starting to move forward too. Obviously in the middle of the map, got to be a little bit careful. Changeling's going to pick up some info on this army being here, so Serral knows exactly where Nice is poised. Fungals, Neurals, all important factors as well. First Fungal comes down, a couple Infestors taking some damage. We will kill off one. We do have a Parasitic Bomb in amongst this. Time Warp goes down. We're going to try and chase the Broodlords, the Void Rays. Prismatically aligned coming forward. Another Fungal Growth. The Mothership coming through has already used its Time Warp, did not use the Cloaking. Probably wouldn't have made much difference with the Overseers nearby. Nice loses pretty much everything. And unfortunately, I feel like the excitement of this game is suddenly coming crashing down. The moment Nice moves out, Serral completely crushes the army. Just a cacophony of spellcasting all coming through all at once. We got the Corruptors still up in the skies, and well, yeah, quite frankly, this is going to be just too much. I mean, Serral maxed out still. Nice is going to rebuild, but he's rebuilding a much worse army now. Arguably against the, massive Corruptors, it may be okay. It's the Broodlords that are going to be an issue for the Stalkers, as now some Ling Bane on the ground will do their job of supporting those Broods. Those Broods will not go down immediately. It does feel as though we probably hit our breaking point, as Serral is just, again, the one time Nice tries to move forward and actually attack himself, he got maxed out, and he kind of became a believer. He was like, actually, I feel like, yeah, I'm doing okay, my army's alright. Mistake. And so often it is, right? Which is sort of frustrating, but you take away the advantage of it being defensive, and then Serral's army is almost always ready to fight, and it was just Serral able to get the spellcasting off. The Fungal Parasitic Bomb combo did so much damage to start out with. Mothership went down too quickly to really have an impact. Nice is going to remax, but as I've said, hopefully, made it apparent a couple times, the remax is on a much worse army. There's no air units here or anything, so can we expect a ground-based army of Nice to do enough? Well, I guess don't count it out fully, but it feels less likely to see success with this army than the army we saw from Nice previously. That's my problem with it. That's my issue with it at the moment. Stalkers continue through. Spores will take some damage as our army of Nice continues into the center. Stalkers and Immortals coming by. Lurker Den coming up as well. We continue to move into the middle of the map. Just have the Ultra taking some shots, a couple of Broodlings taking some hits. Now we're going to see the Corruptors just going to go Caustic Spray here, there, and everywhere, of course. That's one thing these Corruptors can still do, even if they don't have much of a role to play otherwise. Let's go Caustic Spraying. As we kill some Corruptors, I guess it frees up space for other units. You'll stop in the end and maybe realize that that's too many Corruptors to give up freely. But it's Lings and it's Hydras. It's just a different set of units now on the way up from Serral, as he adapts to the fact that Nice's army has adapted into a different force. You know what? Nice still has more workers than Serral has as well. Is there a way that maybe I want to kind of believe, like, the supplies kind of tell me that I should maybe stay around and believe that Nice has something here, but it's, again, the army composition just ain't as great as the first storm there. Didn't really do much. Lurkers on the way. There's obviously not really much to deal with Lurkers, and like I say, I think that's what Serral is doing really well. He's moving from one composition to the next very smoothly. He's making sure to keep himself in a pretty darn good spot. Come through. They will get rid of all of those Stargates, which stops you responding with air units at this point as well. So that's actually kind of an interesting move as well, to stop your opponent being able to respond with more, Stargate units, as we do push top side. Pushing into Lurkers is going to be a little bit messy. I mean, at the same time, the mobility on the map that Nice has is something that he didn't have at a previous point of this game, so that at least is pretty lovely. That's something we can look at here. That's something we can be somewhat happy with. Corruptor's going to go patrolling up on the top. We are going to go moving about over there a little bit. And just having ourselves still. This army keeps on moving around. Bane Lane's going to run their way into the bottom right base. Cannons are going to fire through a lot of these Banes, taking a lot of damage. But they will find some of these probes, at least as they continue to hunt in the corner. A few of them burrow up, maybe to try and catch a bigger kind of surprise a bit further down the line. Corruptor's taking some damage, so some shots coming through still. No Stalker's keeping things pushed back here. I mean, Serral is... they're both on similar banks. I guess a couple more thousand gas available for Serral is a big deal. He will lose these Corruptors. I mean, he's not really had anything to do with these Corruptors unless he was going to morph in more Broodlords for quite a while at this stage. Stalker's coming down. The Lurkers are going to fire up a few shots. They're getting some shots in there to begin with. Brutes coming forward. The Nexus is going to get cancelled on the gold base. Just going to knock that down. The army over to the left-hand side. Now he's going to go pushing to the far top left-hand corner. So, again, making a direction, making a move over there. Lurkers burrow up. Nice is going to back away. I love what Nice is doing. He's avoiding the larger fights that might go wrong for him. He's being pretty darn cautious overall, and I appreciate it. I think he's doing things right for himself at the moment. I think he's doing right by his own chances, and I love what he's doing, because as Serral has obviously been trading out his Corruptors, we're rebuilding carriers. It's a genius move from Nice, who basically says, you know what, Serral, cool. Trade out those Corruptors. You're right, they're useless. And then he's going to make it so that the Corruptors are needed once again. As he's just sneaking up carriers in production. It's actually a very smart play. He's only really able to get the supply for 4, but 4 more carriers, and Serral has an answer for. A few Lurkers continuing through there. Stalkers will take a couple of shots. It's hanging around. A few Stalkers are going to go and shoot in the top left-hand side. Hydras and Lurkers push through. Stalkers are going to blink forward as well, so they're going to try and make a little bit of something happen. Lurkers firing up, couple cannons continuing around there. Stalkers and everything else continue to come through for a couple of moments. It's going to be seeing a couple of Lurkers going down. Army continues to push on forward. Nice, getting fungled that. She has to recall away. Lurker's going to jump on that gold base. 5 more carriers coming up from Nice. If Serral does not know to rebuild into Corruptors, he's going to. He's seen it. Okay, good scout from Serral. He's going to rebuild, begin rebuilding the anti-air army. Carriers continue through. Just going to be seeing those Lurkers continue to fight. The Nexus taking damage. More carriers coming up right now. This army coming through into the center. Stalkers and Immortals coming through. More carriers coming up. The Corruptors are coming by. Spores are building. We got our Stalkers in the center. Going to get after a couple of these Overlords. A good fungal growth comes in. We are going to have to just back it up. Storm's coming in, trying to deal with the flanking force. Should actually do okay. Just got to stay out of range of that many Lurkers. Nice, losing a little bit there. One more Storm comes by. He lost that bottom right base. He's trying to establish the gold, but it feels like that's exactly where Serral is going to push towards. He's actually already got some lurkers moving there. Nice does not move in position to protect it. Nice has to spring the carriers now, surely, right? 9 carriers have got to come and take a place. Lurkers cancel that gold base. This is where Nice runs into issues. He's losing the bases he needs to mine from. He's going to try and reestablish in this bottom corner. Needs detection against that one lurker. Serral, is he pushing Nice into too difficult of a position to deal with? It is a possibility. Changes is going to make their way up. A few probes going to move across over towards the right side. And Lurk is going to unburrow there as well. Drop load coming through. 11 more broods coming out. Vipers and infestors all coming in. Our carrier still staying tight there. They're just going to pop out and move down the bottom side, as we do have the lurkers are going to go make their way into the center, with the brood lords also on a little bit of a journey. What are we going to do next? Uh-oh. Actually going to dive forward there with the carriers. They're going to get a fair amount done, so a little bit coming out of that. Lurker's actually taking some shots. This is where the Corruptors have just not been able to join the fight. The Stalkers blinked forward. That was not really doing it. We fall back towards the Spores. The Interceptors all being out already is a pretty big deal. Plus 3 air weapons on these carriers. There's the Corruptors going to make their pounce. They've obviously lost the ground army, so Nice doesn't really have the support. Serral having these Corruptors ready is a big deal. Like we said before, scouting that these carriers were on the way up was huge. If these carriers were here and the Corruptors were not, that would be big. Right now, though, we are still pushing back. Serral is rebuilding big time. Nice cannot afford to rebuild. That's his issue. All he's got is carriers, 12 zones, 25 Corruptors from Serral. What it's come down to is the economies. Nice lost too many of his bases, and Serral still having access to all of his bases. A big, big deal. Made a big difference as the Corruptors come through. Carriers are going down one by one. Serral is going to clean out Nice. Starlight Twinkle went the absolute distance with Basilisk, but it's just not enough in the end. Serral takes out Nice, and Basilisk will take it down, winning this matchup. Serral gets it done. 30 minutes